It all started with a young man not a day older than 63. You may have heard of him. He went by the name Christopher Porter, or Crizzle to his friends. The issue at hand was one of immersion. It was being broken, you see. Those cheesy female voice actors were blissfully unaware of the impact they were having, and quite frankly, he'd had enough of their shit. And despite previous friction between himself and Mr. Porter, Raccoon Moustache could agree on this issue. Yeah, so annoying, he concurred. He had nothing further to add on the matter. Suffice to say, he was just happy to be typing again after an extended hibernation. But this harmony would soon be rudely interrupted. The HUD and kill streaks and teleporting to a plane thousands of meters away was breaking my immersion, a voice in the distance seemed to say. To this day, no one quite knew what he meant by that, but I suspect it was racist. Let's just say there was more than Minerva in his brain, for he had been drinking for 17 hours straight, an ill-advised attempt to numb the pain of losing his pet iguana, Jeffrey, the iguana, savaged on this very day last year. May he rest in pieces. However, there was no time for consolation, for astride him stood Robert Kay, a.k.a. Bobby Carrots. Carrots had been watching Mr. Porter from afar, studying him. He'd planned for this moment very carefully and needed but 2 words to make his case. Immersion, Lamau, which roughly translated means enough, although I hasten to add my Latin is merely conversational. But his words would fall on deaf ears, and there was one man who would be heard in full force, a man with no time for careful deliberation. There were no women in World War II, said Isaac Smith, a distinguished historian, no less. And you can say what you like about Mr. Smith, but this was an interesting theory, and the man had an uncanny ability to really make you think. His job was done here. He could walk away with his head held high, a flawless victory in his eyes. In the eyes of the 5 million others, an embarrassing defeat. With Isaac Smith out of the picture, this issue called for a real man to settle proceedings once and for all. And that man was the inimitable Jean Bretagne. Jean Bretagne turned up his nose, for he was not impressed. Nor was he literate, as he claimed, "I thank same, but it's probably a young voicemail." Possibly referring to the early voicemail prototypes of the Nokia 3210, released at around the time of the war, if I'm not mistaken. Not entirely relevant, but a bold statement nonetheless. Curiously, Jean Bretagne was never to be seen again after that day. Some say he got caught in an endless cycle of cat videos, of which he was unable to escape. Others say he simply died. Whatever the case, he won a lot of hearts that day, my own included. God bless you, Jean Bretagne. God bless you.